derem o like, se inscreverem e derem o like, é acobertado por Deus e o Divino Espírito Santo. E se não derem o like, está acompanhado com todos os cães que tiver no inferno: Caim, Satanás, Pão Grosso e Parafuso, Botafogo, Lucifer, que é o chefe de lá, e meu avô, que é o comandante de tudo. Botar para arrombar em vocês, tudo aí.
Kids that grew up in the 80s are a lucky bunch. Wherever we go, there's our childhood. He-Man, the most powerful game in the universe for iOS, is another example of modern media feeding our pangs of nostalgia, not only through its title character, but also its side-scrolling hack-and-slash gameplay. Like the original cartoon, He-Man, the most powerful game in the universe is simple, but kind of compelling. It won't keep you engaged for hours, but neither will it make you sneer, "Nya." He-Man, the most powerful game in the universe, takes itself less seriously than the cartoon, and that's saying something. Skeletor lures his rock-muscled rival into a trap using his new iOS app, It's Complicated, and begins his conquest of Eternia. He-Man struggles out of his chains and rushes to stop Skeletor before Mr. Bones can take over Castle Grayskull. Chasing down Skeletor involves moving from left to right, swinging your sword, performing special moves, beating up enemies, and doing all the important stuff that He-Men are generally expected to do. Each level throws you against walls of Skeletor's army, which is generously supplemented with soldiers from the evil Horde. As it appears, Skeletor and Hordak stop sniping at each other long enough to form yet another shaky alliance. There are also boss battles aplenty. He-Man, the most powerful game in the universe, is a whole lot of brainless sword swinging, and sometimes that's all you want out of a game. The levels are repetitive and the enemies have no AI to speak of, but slicing through the robot tide admittedly gives you a comforting sense of progression. There are special moves you can learn and allies you can summon, but invoking them breaks up your rhythm, so you probably won't even want to bother. Besides, unlocking moves and power-ups requires you to purchase them with crystals, and said crystals accumulate slowly. Not surprisingly, you can buy more crystals with in-app purchases. Does anyone else hear Skeletor cackling in the background? You'll probably do okay on your own, anyway. The controls for He-Man, the most powerful game in the universe, are refreshingly responsive for an iOS action game, though it can be difficult to turn He-Man around quickly to kill off enemies that sneak up behind you. The graphics and animation are wonderful and will punch you right in your childhood memories, but the game lacks the cartoon's opening theme. It's a small complaint, but it makes the game's otherwise heroic soundtrack sound, well, wrong. He-Man, the most powerful game in the universe, is shallow and straightforward, but it's fun. In fact, it's the most fun you can have with He-Man outside of rewatching your grainy VHS collection or engaging in grown-up He-Man roleplay. Fabulous 1980s Saturday morning cartoon hero He-Man is back on the scene, courtesy of Chilingo and the small team at Glitchsoft. Skeletor is once again up to no good, this time with an especially meta storyline. The Bone Dome has trapped He-Man within a video game, and it's up to players to fight their way through 25 enemy-filled stages to save the day. Gamers play with both thumbs on their touch screen. Dragging left and right with your left thumb moves. Tapping the right side of the screen swings He-Man's power sword. As players progress, more gestural attacks open up. Swiping down activates a whirlwind strike, swiping up sends He-Man airborne into an uppercut, and so on. He-Man's control setup isn't awful, but it's too stiff and unresponsive to effectively deal with Trap Jaw, Beast Man, and the other enemies players will encounter. Players can't change direction mid-air. Players can't stop an attack's animation once it has started. Enemies that aren't killed in one hit can, and will, walk through your attack and damage you. He-Man isn't an especially difficult game. I was able to dish out plenty of damage, and healing hearts are in frequent supply around the environment. But for a game that is ostensibly supposed to be a platform brawler, it doesn't feel good when the biggest on-screen threat is a meandering bat, because it's too hard to rapidly turn around or hit enemies from below. It doesn't help that level design largely feels rote. Secrets are hidden in plain sight and enemies attack in predictable patterns. Despite these issues, I still enjoyed my journey through Eternia. The game's fantastic cartoony style is a huge nostalgia trip, as is the excellent He-Man music. Little details like He-Man strikes destroying parts of the background and sending debris flying into enemies do a lot to help the player feel powerful. The game also includes dozens of rare high-res photos of early product packaging, sketches, comic book covers and more to further the nostalgia value. Even with its issues, He-Man's 99-cents asking price isn't unreasonable given the length of the adventure and the quality of the stage and character artwork. Unfortunately, the game's aggressive in-app purchase strategy represent further cost for completionists. Players earn gems through normal play to unlock new moves, powerful one-off attacks, health boosts, many of the bonus artwork and more. But the gems simply accumulate too slowly. By the end of the game I'd earned just enough gems to buy all of He-Man's moves, nothing more. No bonus art, health packs or consumable power-ups. I beat the game without spending more than the starting 99 cents, so the IAP gem packs truly are optional. But it's still disappointing that I can't experience the full package without grinding for more gems or spending more dough. Beating up on Merman and the rest of Skeletor's thugs is fun, but He-Man isn't fast or fluid enough to truly stand as an App Store great. The game is a great nostalgia trip, and at its best it recalls greats like Gunstar Heroes. But it never quite overcomes its control issues or its by-the-numbers design.